Before you start touring and looking at homes in Portland, Oregon, there are 3 things that you really need to know, and I'm going to tell you all about them right now. Real quick, if you're looking for some home buying tips, be sure to check out my Buying in Portland video playlist. It has longer videos and shorts that will really help you get up to speed. If you have questions, I'm always here to help. I'm Andy Harris with Forest Real Estate, brokered by eXp Realty. There are links below in the description to contact me directly. No pressure, let's just have a conversation. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, must know number 1 is Oregon's tax structure, and this might surprise you in both directions. Here's the first thing that catches people off guard when they're moving from out of town, that Oregon actually has no sales tax, that's none. So if you're buying your car or furnishing your house, buying groceries, you have no sales tax. For families spending $60,000 a year on goods and services, as an example, that's real money in your pocket every month. But, and this is very important, Oregon has a relatively high income tax rate. We're in the 8 to 9% bracket for most earners, and if you're a remote worker or a high income worker coming from a state like Washington that has no sales tax, that number will get your attention pretty fast. For many buyers, especially those coming from higher priced West Coast cities, the net math still works in Portland's favor. The cost of living gap is significant enough that people come out ahead, but the key is doing the actual math on your income and the taxes and the spending before you actually commit to move here to Portland. Okay, must know item number 2, many of Portland's homes are pretty old, and it's not a problem if you actually know what to look for. Many of Portland's most desirable areas and neighborhoods like Laurelhurst and Hawthorne, Sellwood, Irvington, Kings Heights, or Arlington Heights, as examples, are filled with homes built in the late 1800s or early 1900s. That character has huge appeal for a lot of buyers. The craftsman bungalows, Tudor revival, with old growth fir floors as an examples. This is what people really fall in love with. But older homes also come with older infrastructure. And there are 4 things that I want to talk about that every buyer coming into Portland should really understand before they get into their inspection period. First, let's talk about sewer lines. Many of the sewer laterals in Portland's older neighborhoods were built with original clay pipes. This means they can crack, more easily have root intrusion, and or deteriorate over time. A standard home inspection does not come with a sewer scope, so you're going to want to order that. It runs usually about $150. In my experience, that's one of the best $150 a buyer could spend, because sewer line repair or replacement can easily run in the $5,000 to $15,000 range, depending on your specific situation. Second, let's talk about oil tanks. Portland's older homes, or many of them, were commonly heated by oil fuel, and many of these fuel tanks were actually buried underground. Some have not been decommissioned, and some are actually still in use. If a tank is found, it's not necessarily a deal breaker. It just requires the right testing to know exactly what you're inheriting. So you're going to want to do a tank search and soil samples if necessary. The third thing we can find in the older homes are homes with brick foundations. Some of the late 1800 and early 1900 homes still have their brick foundations. And given that we're in an area with seismic activity and brick provides basically no support for lateral movement that will happen in an earthquake, you really need to determine your comfort level with a brick foundation. There are even some homes that were built quite a bit newer than the early 1900s that have maybe concrete block foundations. So this is something, again, you're going to want to get familiar with your comfort level. I have some buyers who are completely fine with it, and some buyers that just won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So anyways, it's something that we can talk about if it's something that you want to explore, or if you're looking into homes with those sort of foundations. Okay, the third thing that I want to talk about now is that Portland's market isn't what it was, but it's not uniform either. If you've been watching a lot of the news and talking about the national real estate slowdown or Portland in general, you might want to think that you're going to come in with a lowball offer and have no problems. But I want to give you a more accurate picture about what's going on, because the reality is more nuanced either than the doom and gloom headlines or the everything is flying off the shelf narrative that we had for years up through 2021, 2022. Portland's overall market has moderated. Days on the market have stretched, price reductions are real for many sellers, and buyers have leverage that they didn't have years ago. But here's also what I'm seeing on the ground every week, that well-priced homes with move-in ready homes in the right areas can still attract multiple offers and sell within just a couple days. When a property is priced right and presented well, buyers can still compete. Then there are other properties that linger on the market. The condo market and the multifamily markets are really lagging behind the single family market right now. So the condo and multifamily markets could be a good opportunity for savvy buyers that are looking to take advantage of a slower market and buy low, so to speak. What this means practically is you can't really adopt a single strategy for all of Portland. The market for a well-maintained Craftsman in Northeast versus a condo building and with deferred maintenance in the Pearl District, for example, those are completely different negotiations. I hope this helps illustrate why having an experienced agent can make a huge difference for you. The right offer strategy for a Laurelhurst home or a duplex in Oregon City can be really different. I've been working in this market for over 11 years and in real estate for over 17 years. So that sort of experience is exactly the sort of thing that can win deals and save you a lot of money. So here's the short version. You're going to want to understand the Oregon tax picture before you move, do your proper due diligence on all homes, especially Portland's older homes, the sewer, the oil tanks, and the foundations, and have a neighborhood and property type specific strategy rather than a one-size-fits-all approach. I think Portland is generally one of the best cities in the country for quality of life and value. I say that as someone who's been working in this market for a long time. I've lived in 5 states and have watched a lot of people move here and absolutely thrive and love it. If you're doing your research and want to talk specifics, your price range, your timeline and neighborhoods, just to get a sense of your situation, I'd love to have that conversation. There's a link in the description below to book a time with me directly, or you can just leave a comment below and I will be sure to get back to you. And if you want to go deeper on any of these topics, I've got videos on Portland's cost of living breakdown, some neighborhood guides, and a monthly market updates right here on this channel. See you on the next one.